Hello and welcome to the next Party Doco cast. Dogcast with me, Party Doco. I'm joined this week by my special guest, the one and only Goatboy.
Hello,
how's it going, dude?
Very well, thanks.
Back from Germany for the weekend?
Yeah, it's been a pretty awesome weekend back in Belfast.
Like Scooter, back in the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you came home for it was a bit of a gig on the weekend.
There was, yes. As soon as it was announced, I was like, right, let's have a look and see how much flights are.
I think, obviously, that's all we've been talking about the last year. Like,
yeah.
Pretty much, like me and Ryan and Grizz, or Lukewarm and Tommy Rockshore, if you remember them from the last few Gung Ho posts. And we've all been talking about Gung Ho, but Friday night was a gig, and you know, we were really excited about it, and there's kind of a wee bit of an after thing about it now. We've been doing nothing but talking about it and looking forward to it for months, and now it's over. We're like,
yeah, now you're going to reflect back on it.
Well, I can reflect back on it, like, you know, and maybe, and just like everyone, the feedback was absolutely totally awesome. Like, do you enjoy it as a fan? I suppose, like,
absolutely brilliant. It was much better than I was expecting. not that I was expecting it to be completely shite, but
no, I'm kind of the same in a way. I kind of thought, well, one, you never know. People buy tickets just because they're going to donate to charity.
Yeah.
Are people actually going to turn up then, or and the place was pretty bunged out. Like, it's as busy as I've ever seen that place.
The place was really bunged in as well. That was my first time in the renovated middle floor in the big house, and I think they've done it really well. It's good.
Yeah, and I think well, they changed it. I think the stage was down the last time we played there.
Yeah, it was down the
other end. We were actually worried because they made the stage quite narrow. And we were looking at going, there's no way we're fitting. There's no way Gung Ho are fitting on that.
But it seemed quite deep.
Yeah, no, it is. It actually goes back quite far. But sound guy was brilliant. I thought the videos we've got back, I'm sure if you get me on Twitter at Party Doco, and Instagram is pretty much the same at Party Doco, you'll see some videos that we putting up, or the Gung Ho Facebook page. We've got that going now.
Yeah,
I think it's for facebook.com/heyho Gung Ho. So get on that, like it, and you'll maybe when you're on it, you'll notice we've announced another gig.
Happy days.
14th of December at the big house. All Christmas tunes.
All Christmas songs?
Gung Ho Ho Ho. Well, you have to throw in a few. I think we're maybe changing hanging out the back to snowing out the back. But it's going to be a load of Christmas tunes. Christmas themed, put it like that.
Okay.
But we're going to rock up a few Christmas songs that you already know. We'll do the Gung Ho version of it. And then we'll have hopefully Dave DJing after it again. Just playing all the Christmas tunes the way they're normally meant to be.
Yeah, the music was good after the show as well the other night, but it was so fucking loud.
Yeah,
everything was loud. My ears were ringing like fuck yesterday, and
well, you see, in practice we've always been kind of, because there's no monitor in practice, so we're all just turning ourselves up a bit more so you can hear what they're actually doing. Trying to outdo each other in a way. And then the guy turned up and he was we kind of thought he'd have the mics down, you know, the mics turned up quite high, but actually I can hear myself talking a bit of a lisp because of this bloody tooth.
Best chicken wings in Belfast.
Yeah, that's happened last night. After we had a wee night out last night then, so the Gung Ho was Friday night, and it was really great night, but like, we didn't really finish till probably near 12ish, so we only got a time for a couple of pints, so I went and had my big night out last night. Goatboy was there, a few other Gung Hoers were there, a few of our friends were out, and I had no intention of getting chicken wings until you mentioned them. I actually got my food already, and then you were ordering chicken wings.
The guy said they were the best chicken wings in Belfast. I don't believe that, to be honest, but they were alright. But I got home, I had 2 portions, but I got home blocked, and I'm just like, it's all over my fucking jumper and everything. Oh god, the cat came in, the cat's all over me.
Yeah, I kind of woke up with a bit of curry sauce in my bed this morning, and I don't really remember much about it.
Did you have any of the McCurry on it?
Well, I think I got a curry half and half. I think I ordered a curry half and half, and then we're all sitting about, and then the chicken wing idea came up, and I was like, fuck, I really want chicken wings.
Did you get a plate?
No, man, dude. But you were there, I didn't think of it.
I did, I saw the plate.
So this is a running joke we've had for like probably 10 years anyway. Like, in the sunshine, we used to go to Erigal or the big house every weekend, and come out, and you get your curry half. It's standard issue, you get your curry chip, you know, at the end of the night. And yeah, it's recording again. And you standard issue, you get your curry chip at the end of it, and me and Ryan were in one night, and this guy got a plate. We used to always sit at the wee table, and this guy got a plate, and we were like, the fuck, why?
How's he got a plate?
How's he got a plate? So we had already finished our food, and we're going, jeez, that guy got a plate. Next week when we come in, we're going to ask for a plate. So we come in every week for about 2 or 3 years, going, any chance of a plate? and the woman always denied there were such things as plates. Like, you know, a plate would be the stupidest idea you could ever ask for in a Chinese restaurant.
I don't even want to play it.
I don't.
But I fucking do want to play it.
That guy got the food delivered to him on a plate. It wasn't like he brought his own plate. And
was he a driver maybe or something?
No, I don't know what he was. He's black.
He must have been
stealing. We thought like he must be some local legend, you know, to get a plate. So eventually, after years and years and years of begging, I think the one night me and you were in, and it was the one night we weren't actually staying to have food or to get the food and take it home.
Yeah.
And then they brought out the plate. We're like, what the fuck's sake? Any fucking time we didn't want a bloody plate, like.
But you seem to get discount and everything there.
I think he made a buzz on my order last night.
Okay.
Because the way I remember this, I wanted a curry half and half with, you know, like a snack box with a chicken or something, like
chicken balls.
And he made it all separate, which is why I think I had a separate portion of curry as opposed to just the curry half and half. Which is why I've always had to put the curry on myself.
Yeah, but your chicken wings cost £2, mine cost $3.50. What's that all about?
I don't know if I got as many. I only got 4.
I got 4 as well.
Oh.
Actually, I got 2 portions. I got 8.
Alright. 8 for £7. I got 4 for 2. Well, I don't know. Maybe because I'm such a good customer. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe I'm a regular. I don't know. But enough of about last night's chicken.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm talking with the list actually, because I had the chicken wings, and in my drunken haze last night, I remember cracking my tooth. And then I had to go up to the bathroom to look at it because I didn't know exactly what had happened. And my tooth's actually split in half and both sides were wobbly. So that's why I'm kind of talking, probably a bit funny. And talking. You can at me on Twitter. But anyway, you're my special guest this week, so I want to be talking a bit about you. And,
sure.
You lead an extraordinary fun life. That you'd be all around the world all the time and you get yourself in the situations we'd all be proud of.
Yeah, I've been very lucky, to be honest. I think it all kind of started really playing in bands when I was a kid, 14, 15 years old.
Alright, so you've been in bands yourself for years, like so.
Yeah, so I know what it's like.
How'd that start then?
Well, you know, I was always into music as a kid.
Yeah.
Always into it. When I was like 9, 10, I listened to a lot of Metallica, Alice Cooper, Bon Jovi, load of shite. And then I started really listening to Britpop and then getting into more kind of indie stuff like Pavement when I was like 12, 13. And I really, really wanted to start making music and playing in bands. And one of my mates got a bass guitar. We were like, right, come on, we'll try and do something. And we ended up somehow playing our first ever gig in the Limelight when I was 14 years old. And on the same day I was supposed to play I qualified to play at a golf tournament in Manchester. All expenses paid. Apparently there was free porn TV and everything. And I missed out on that. And
for the rock and roll
lifestyle. But
14, dude.
Yeah, but then we played together for a couple of years. But I was convinced that this was my life. I was going to be a rock star.
Yeah.
This was it. And I didn't really focus too much on going to school or my education. And I finished school after my GCSEs, and then I just kind of started doing these shitty courses and dropping out of them. And then I played in a new metal band for a while. I played samples.
What I always remember about your taste in music is it was always different to mine.
Yeah.
When I liked AC/DC, you're like, nah,
no,
this other band from Lauren are far better.
But I used to
Jobby Crust.
Jobby Crust, they are from Lauren, I think. But I was playing samples in this new metal band, and I was just kind of making this extreme racket of kind of like, we sampled like horror films and screaming.
Yeah.
And it was just like white noise over new metal. And they were actually pretty good, but they didn't. Yeah, I got kicked out for some reason, and then I played in this other kind of industrial band for a while and got kicked out of it, and then I joined the Dangerfields.
The Dangerfields, that was your big band, wasn't it?
That was the main band that I was in
that was what you're known
for quite a while. I think I played about 100 gigs over the course of a couple of years.
But you went around Europe with them as well, didn't you?
Yeah, well,
so you did live like a rock star, like, let's be honest. Like,
I did. I almost.
You might not have won a Grammy, but who cares about that? You're living a rock star.
Yeah, I think I achieved more than most kids who dream that this is what they want to do. Unfortunately, I was never a really good musician, and I'm still not. But
you make a very good rock star, though, Goatboy.
Yeah, I know how to live it. I think quite often we were trying
to how to party, all right. Like,
partying came first back in these days of the Dangerfields, and then the music came second.
Yeah.
And at some point after I left, that kind of flipped a little bit, and they actually started to care about the music, and then most of the band stopped drinking.
You'd be partied out.
They were partied out, and I went on in other directions and continued the partying.
17. What age were you then when you left when the Dangerfields sort of ended?
So they were going until 2010, but I left them in 2002.
2002.
So I was only 17, 18 years old, and I was
when you left them.
When I left them, yeah.
Jesus, I didn't realize it was that long.
So that was like 16 years ago. Kind of the last tour I did was when I went to Europe with them. We toured Germany and Switzerland, and it was a real hilarious experience. We were playing we were touring with a band called Disorder. They formed in like the late 70s during like the big punk movement, and this kind of really abrasive, horrible punk sound. But they're quite big, and like so we were touring with them, and we were playing these kind of really crusty squats, and they were really fucking grim. And I remember on the first night on the tour, I think it was in Duisburg, and I got really blocked. We turned up really early, and I remember bringing a bottle of Mad Dog 2020 over.
Did you that stuff?
It was crazy stuff. But the first night I went nuts, and I drank it and a bottle of Advocat. It was like €2 a bottle in Lidl back then in Germany. Christ. And they did cider and everything. It was brilliant, but I almost got sent back. I remember the place was disgusting. We were staying in the venue, and I got up in the middle of the night to go for a piss, and I didn't have my shoes on, and I look in the toilet floor, and the toilet floor just stinking with piss, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm not pissing in there, right? So I open up this door, and they had about 2 years supply of toilet roll, and I'm like, right, fuck this. So I pissed all over it. I must have damaged about 2 years worth of toilet roll.
For fuck's sake,
And then they tried to send me home actually after the first night because I was such a mess, and I think I turned up for a 2-week tour with 2 strings on my bass and no replacements, and I broke one of them.
One bass string anyway.
Well, I found out that I could do it, but it wasn't so good, and I had to make some promises for the rest of the tour.
To behave yourself.
Behave myself. So I was allowed 2 drinks before I played, but I kind of.
That's one thing I always remember about playing. Like, for years when I was just doing a load of acoustic stuff, like we'd always get down there. You know, by the time you set up, you maybe get a couple of pints.
Yeah.
And then when I was 14 was when I played live for the first time myself. I wasn't really drinking then. Like, you know, it was sort of my dad would have taken me around to like a singer-songwriter night or something, or someone would invite me around. Or then when I sort of got a bit older, I was going around for someone that I knew was playing, and I knew they were going to invite me up at some stage to play a few songs.
Yeah.
So I'd always be having a few beforehand, and you're a bit nervous then, so you needed a few. And
listeners.
I wouldn't get nervous at all now about it. Like I don't think my heart would have moved the beat on Friday night, like. But I didn't have any of the booze, because I remember a couple of gigs I got really wankered and I couldn't remember what I was playing, and I fell off the bar stool one night, got blocked. And
you see, when it comes to playing guitar, I can't do it when I'm drunk at all.
Well, I'm okay after about 2 or 3 pints. I'm okay, and then I start getting a bit of. But then, when you're 2 or 3 pints, then you don't start giving a fuck about not boozing. Then you're like, oh, you can't stop after 2 or 3. You're like, here, 3 more, I'll be all right. And then you end up wankered, and then that's when the bad shit happens. But like that's the nights. Like, that's one thing I hate is bloody playing really blocked, because then
I love it.
I know it's good. I don't get wrong, but it's, you know, what people are listening to is not right.
Yeah, but playing the bass when I'm drunk is something that I managed to master. If I know the songs well enough, I don't need to think about it, and so it all just came really naturally. And you know, after the Dangerfields, I joined a band, and well, I didn't join it. We formed a band in Newcastle with me and a couple of mates, called The Plan for Tonight. And it was very much.
That sounds like a WhatsApp group.
It does sound like a WhatsApp group. What's the plan for tonight? And it was really funny. It was a really odd bunch of people in the band. Our guitarist, we had a German guy, we had an Australian, we had me, and then we had 2 Geordie girls. One was the drummer, one was the singer.
Right.
And the drummer was half the age of the.
I don't remember that. Hearing about this.
Yeah, it was like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
And we were pretty good.
Did you play?
Yeah, we played a lot. But then we maybe started getting a bit serious, and we booked a gig in London, and our German guitarist left. He's like, "Nein, you guys are too serious."
That's his shit.
Yeah, so after that, he left, and we had to cancel the gig, and then he rejoined again, and then we're like, all right, no London shows.
So you're just really adamant you didn't want to go to London, maybe?
We're playing in Newcastle, Whitley Bay.
And that's it.
Yeah, Tynemouth.
You toured Newcastle.
We did. We played quite a few shows.
It's a bit odd he didn't want to go. He must have really, really hated London. Well,
no, he just thought we were taking it a bit too seriously. And we were good. We wrote like really good pop songs.
Yeah.
Anthony, the Australian, wrote most of them, and then I kind of wrote the rest of them. There's some stuff in SoundCloud actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of my stuff, because I got a lot of solo stuff up on SoundCloud as well, which is just me either with a guitar or with keyboards.
And how do you find it then? Well, what's your Twitter? Did you go?
My Twitter is at Ich bin Goatboy. So
slightly German.
Yeah, I am Goatboy. So it's ICHBIN Goatboy. And I think
you said slow, it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think my SoundCloud is actually soundcloud.com/Johnny Goatboy. Possibly.
I'm going to have a wee look at that.
Yeah, there's like an album's worth of stuff from my band in Newcastle, and then there's a load of my stuff from my band when I was 14.
I would actually like to get Hanging Out the Back recorded. So I've got only live recordings of it, and I've only ever played live rock once. Usually always played acoustic. But
I think the other night it sounded really, really good. I think sometimes when you're playing covers, you know, it's because they're already documented and people have expectations as to how it should sound. But if it's something that they haven't heard before,
well, that's a good thing about Hanging Out the Back. It gets 5 or 6 years old, that song. If you listen to the lyrics, it's not really a love song. Like,
yeah,
it's definitely not a love song. It's a bit
no, definitely not.
But I would play it live in Donegal quite a bit, you know, just acoustically. Played in the big house a couple of times, just acoustically. Played it in Belfast. Any different gigs I was playing, I always kind of threw it in, and my mates all got to know it because it's quite a catchy chorus.
Yeah,
you know. So even like the other night when I was playing it, that was the first time we played it live, rocked up, like a rock version. And I was looking out in the crowd singing it, and there's a girl about 3 or 4 rows back. She was quite tall. She was a bit taller than everyone else.
Oh fuck, she was hot.
Yeah, she was ridiculously hot.
Who was
she? I don't have no idea, but she kept singing it, like she was arm waving about, and she was singing "Hanging at the Back," and I was like, "Fuck here,
I'd be hanging at the back of that."
But I thought she's, you know what, that is catchy enough that people have never heard it.
Yeah,
or sing
after
along
hearing it once, she was singing along.
But yeah, that was a fun of Gung Ho. Like.
For me, like the music from Gung Ho it's maybe not 100% my thing, but I listened to more kind of punky stuff. But
it's because it's music people have heard of, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you played On a Rope by Rockers from the Crypt, and it was brilliant. I love that band. I saw them at Belfast.
You know, it's funny when we were like going through the set list, you know, a few months ago, going right, we're going to play this gig. It's all for charity. But kind of, you know, the idea, because we'll have to go back with where the Lalt sort of came from, where Gung Ho was kind of born.
Yeah,
where the seed was sort of. I'm really lisping here. My chewing gums were not helping. My chewing gums in the tooth to try and make it not sore, and then I can't bite down.
DIY filling.
Yeah. But then we're getting the list of the songs to play, and there's a few of them I was like, I've never heard this song before. I don't know. I've know it. Or maybe heard it in an advert. Yeah. You know that Iran song.
Yeah.
I think that's in an advert. I was like, yeah, I've heard that chorus.
I didn't know it at all.
Didn't know it. Like Rocket from a Crypt. On a Rope. I remember hearing it at the time going, I don't like that song.
It was huge at the time.
It was huge, but I just didn't really like it. And then, but we're playing it, I was like, better going. So I've been listening to this CD, and it's just what we were playing in order, and getting used to it and getting it right. Do you know what? Actually, it's a rocking, really, really good song.
Yeah, and the way that it comes in as well, it changes the tempo a little bit, I think, at the start.
Yeah, but then the chorus kind of changes tempo too. Like, but yeah, no, I thought it was a brilliant night. And you know, well, Gung Ho. Well, another gig at Christmas, I was saying, so never know. Let's just do 2 or 3 gigs a year, like.
Yeah.
The hardest working band in the showbiz.
Well, I think you probably got so much fucking Gung Ho merch printed up here, or you've got some connections anyway.
There's a bit of pruck, you've noticed this.
Yeah, there's stickers on the car, there's pens, I don't know.
The plectrums, do you see the plectrums?
Commodes or something in the boot here. Gung Ho.
Do you see the Gung Ho plectrums?
No.
Gung Ho plectrums, I've got them nice. I should have given you one. It says Gung Ho on one side, Lalt on the other side.
I need one of those.
They're classic. Actually, I threw a few out the other night. I don't actually know if I've any left. They're not actually the best ones to play with.
Yeah.
They just say Gung Ho and Lalt on them.
And do they come all from the same merchandiser?
No, the plectrums they're like a private, customised plectrum place. The Gung Ho pen and the Gung Ho stickers are all from Vistaprint. Yeah. Same as a racing doc. So it's one thing I actually want to do this podcast and talk about horse racing a lot more. You know, and I suppose the flat season's not really what I'm into. It's all about the jump season. So racing doc, remember that there. It'll be coming back. The racing podcast will be coming back soon.
Yeah, you might need to separate them. You might need to have your Gung Ho one.
We'll make a few quid. Well, that's thing. But I kind of initially thought I'll do a podcast and the last sort of 10 minutes talk about bets this week.
Yeah.
So but I might just make it separate just for...
Well,
keep a Laltcast.
The Laltcast.
Unless I touch for like a real big massive bet, then it'll be all about that. And what I got up to that weekend. But anyway, the Lalt was born. Berlin 2017.
We
had kind of announced it at the gig that you're the sort of godfather of this. Lalt and the idea of Gung Ho kind of came about. You planted the seed, kind of.
Yeah, I think it totally indirectly and also without realising.
Yeah, totally. The Berlin booth. Now, I think we've actually talked about the booth before in the cast, but it was you that booked it and got us in there.
I was insistent that we went. I love a bit of karaoke. I think there's nothing more fun than it.
Drunken karaoke is. You know what I remember at that place? It was like quite a posh karaoke place.
Yeah.
And that people got up and sang Celine Dion and were getting applauds and all. And I got up and did AC/DC and it was kind of like you lot going, ew, and everyone else going, no, that's not what we're here for. Like,
I think, well, like, whenever you walk in, there was like a big open stage for anyone to come up and sing, and you just went up, put your request on. I think I was up singing "Who Gonna Be Now" by Men at Work, which is a mini anthem. And I was dancing and playing the saxophone, and then we had to wait to get the booth, and I was speaking a bit of German with the guy trying to sort it out. I think there must have been like 15 of us. And so we got the biggest room available, and it was a tight squeeze, I would say.
But it was right beside the stage, though. There's one great photo. We'll actually have to put it up, and it's a stage, and people look at the people singing really well on stage, and there's just this window of guys with no tops on.
I know. Well, we didn't think that people could see in, and then we realised that everyone can see us with their tops off, shorts on, tops off.
Thinking when some random people started coming in, going, "Is this where the party's at?"
Yeah, there were these random German guys coming in, and they're like, "Yeah, can we come in and sing?" And we're like, "Yes, get your top off first, and then come on in."
It was a gay karaoke bar off the same as well.
We were kicked out for being too gay.
Yeah, pretty much. We're too. I remember they wouldn't let us in initially, but you had to do a bit of talking to get us in.
I had to do a bit of sweet talking, yeah.
Man, wouldn't let us in for not being gay, then get kicked out for being too gay. That's generally always story I always tell people about that. Like.
Yeah, it was just, that whole weekend was just insane. It was brilliant. There were some people that I didn't know.
I remember you having your top off but your coat on.
There's a picture of that somewhere. I don't know why.
There's a few pictures from that booth will never see the light of day.
No.
I will have them under lock and key. There's a great photo. It's actually of me, but with no top on, the microphone up to my mouth.
Yes, I remember that
and
one.
The sweat stripping off me, and it's just the most unattractive, most minging thing. And Phil, cousin Phil, put a thing on it because it looks like I'm just shouting you down the microphone. And Phil put a thing that said, "When your ma says it's chippy for tea." Because we had like a WhatsApp group for the stag. Yeah.
But I changed my phone since then. But I was looking for a picture on my laptop a couple of weeks ago because I downloaded everything onto it. Mm-hmm. And I was looking through the pictures, and you could see some of us giving it a bit. We're giving it a lalty, to be fair.
Oh, it was
but all you could see was like white pasty bodies and then fucking bright red faces. Like none of the bodies looked like they belonged.
Like we were just drinking beer to just quench our thirst. That's how we all ended up so fucked. We're so warm and just necking beers and.
But it was the last
We'd been
night.
out all day as well.
Yeah,
so
we were
didn't help.
We were at a pub all afternoon.
It was fucking epic.
Yeah, it was good. And unfortunately, I couldn't go to the wedding in the end, which was kind of shite.
I mean, you kind of forget about the wedding.
Yeah,
the stag was so lovely. No, the wedding was really good. That was Grizz's wedding. Grizz's stag do. Grizz will be back in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure, on the Laltcast.
Cool.
Dude, there's a question I want to ask you about.
All right. Okay.
I really want to. It's a story I've heard a few times from different people, but I want to hear the actual truth about it. It's a band called Rock Bitch. I think it's called Rock Bitch, aren't they?
They were called Rock Bitch. They split up a long time ago.
I don't really know much about Rock Bitch, but I kind of guess they're like the female version of the Mac Lads. Would that be the
no?
Is that such a thing? Maybe?
No. So what they are, or what they were, was this group of English girls.
Are they English?
Yeah, they're English.
I thought they were like European.
Yeah, but they lived on this sex commune in France. And it was quite a bizarre thing, and they made music, this kind of really kind of awful like female heavy metal, like maybe kind of verging on L7 or something like that, but like a little bit of punk in there, but just shite.
Because I never really heard of them until I heard this story.
Well, I'd never heard of them until I knew that, until we found out that the Dangerfields were supporting them on the night.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so what happened was the Dangerfields played a gig in Birmingham, and I think there was about 3 or 4 people there, and the promoter felt bad, and he's like, alright lads, okay, we got a show in a couple of weeks with a band called Rock Bitch, if you'd like to play. Sound like Liam Gorey.
I don't have no time for the monkey, doesn't it?
So, of course, they were like, yes. and it was the first date of a two-week tour, and the whole night was insane. I remember like I had about 3 pints I think on the boat over to Stranraer.
So you had to get a boat across?
Yeah, we'd make it all the way down to Birmingham, and I remember we get on the boat with about 3 pints, but we're running late as we were late for everything.
Yeah.
But we get in the car, and after about 5 minutes, I'm like, fuck, I need a piss. And Andrew's like, no. So I had to hold in a piss for 5.5 hours. I tried to put my dick in an orange juice carton. I had 2 guys, one on either side of me, and I'm trying to piss, and I couldn't do it. That's obviously got nothing to do with rock pitch. So anyway,
well, you're setting the scene, like
setting the scene, setting it up. So we get there and we're kind of like hanging out outside and drinking bottles of Mad Dog 2020. That was,
you loved that back in the day.
They were looking for like to see if they could get like a sponsorship deal at Dangerfields with the company that makes it. It never really worked out. But anyway, so we were supporting this band.
That's the Booth song. That's the one song I always remember about the Booth.
Fuck, I can't remember any of the songs.
Some might say by Oasis. And Girls, 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 the only 2 songs I remember about.
I think I probably tried to sing my my anthem. My karaoke anthem is Getting Away With It by Electronic. Anyway, back to Rock Pitch.
Back to Rock Pitch.
So yeah, we're boozing away. And that night, I think Channel 5 were there and recording it to film a documentary on them.
Yeah.
So they weren't like a big band, but the kind of music that they play was shite. But what they do is, I'm trying to think of how to really describe it. So they're like 6 girls that play naked, completely butt naked.
I'm getting visions of Eurotrash here.
They had Eurotrash been around. It may have been around back then, so it could be that they were actually on Eurotrash. But they play completely naked.
Google them, like I had to Google them.
Yeah, you wouldn't be Googling
them.
When
I heard that story a few years ago. I've never heard of them. I have to Google it. Brilliant.
So
don't Google it and work, definitely not.
Yeah, definitely not safe for work. Is that what it stands for? Not safe for wanking.
That's definitely.
It's either maybe the wrong way around.
Jesus. One or the other now. I'm pretty sure it's work. Like
it's work. Yeah. Okay. All right. So they play completely naked on stage, and they've got these two dancers. I think they're called something sex sluts or something. They call them.
They're very PC. This band.
Yeah. So they're
feminist.
But they are kind of they are feminists, I think.
Like empowering women.
Yeah. So they're kind of very different to the Manclans in that respect. So they come out and they're kind of like playing, and like they're not all of them have instruments. They've got these 2 girls and they're kind of like shoving dildos up each other.
Jesus Christ.
And everything's going on, and it's the most bizarre crowd ever. There's a couple of old men down the front, like 80 years old.
What venue is this?
It was called the Old Railway. I don't know if it exists.
Was it a pub or what is it?
It was just like a venue in Birmingham. It wasn't too far from the city centre. And
like a proper concert venue, like the big house.
Yeah. It was maybe a bit bigger. Maybe held like 300 people, and I think it was sold out.
Yeah.
And so they kind of do this thing, dildos, everything going on. It's pretty hilarious. And then they've got this moment called the Golden Condom, and I wasn't really so familiar about what was going on. And bearing in mind, I was 17 years old. Right. I wasn't old enough to be in the venue. And
right enough, like it seems a language.
Yeah, so it's kind of bizarre. So they, the Golden Condom routine, or what happens is, they kind of stop the music, and they throw out this thing, and in my specific case, I'm standing there, and I'm quite far back.
Yeah.
And they throw it out, and it hits me on the head. And I'm like, okay, so I put my foot on it and I pick it up and it's in my hand and I'm like, right, what did I do? And so I pick it up and hold it in the air and they're like, yeah. The rest of the band are just like, fuck, what's going on here? This is nuts. And so like I walk up and I was wearing a pair of tracksuit bottoms. I didn't look like a punk at all, playing in a punk band, and a Hawaiian shirt and pair of
like Rob C. Nesbitt on tour.
Yeah, Rob C. on tour, string vests, buckfast. So I get up on stage, and then 2 of them take me behind the guitar amps, and I had sex with 2 of them when I was 17 years old. It would have been funnier had I lost my virginity to them, but
yeah, that would have been pretty.
That would have been amazing, actually.
Pretty messed up way, like.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. That story, like.
Yeah, but then the whole night got even crazier. Like, one of our mates picked us up as we were walking around, and he got arrested for drunk driving, and then we ended up in this gay club at 6 a.m. in the morning, and yeah, there's other things that maybe are not safe for wanking.
Not suitable for the laltcast. Like too lalty for the laltcast, it sounds like.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the golden condom.
I'm glad I've got it from the horse's mouth, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I first heard that story a few years ago, and I thought, I kind of didn't believe it in a way. But then, knowing you for so long, I've known you for years, obviously.
Yeah.
We went to the same school. You already a couple of years below me.
Couple of years, yeah.
I don't think I'd believe it if it happened to anyone else. But because it's you,
and also there was people there.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's if it happened to one of my other friends, I'd be like, nah, that's just I couldn't imagine it happening.
Yeah,
but
so
with you, I can definitely. That is the godfather of Lalt. You're the godfather of Lalt for a reason, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's such a long time ago. Obviously, since then, a lot has gone on. So I lived in Africa for a while.
Oh, I do. That's right. Aye, so Dangerfield's finished. Then you've got your IT job.
Yeah, Dangerfield's finished, and then I kind of started. I got a bit lucky. I worked without having really any proper qualifications to get me into a normal job. Mm-hmm. I started working in IT somehow, and then like since then, the last kind of 14 years,
you've worked your way up.
I've worked my way in a lot of different places since I was 20, and I've been really lucky. The last 7 years, I've been in Africa, Ghana, Congo, Zambia.
You need to tell us about Ghana and Congo, dude.
Ghana was crazy. It's supposedly like the Congo that's where I went first.
Yeah.
And I kept getting mugged every 2 weeks. And
yeah,
it was fine.
On the same time and day. Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like standard.
Tuesday, 12 o'clock, Goatboy gets mugged.
And there was no knives or guns, but there's like 10 guys come up to me, and I'm by myself. And you know what? I could have sat in my hotel by myself the whole time for 2 months, but I was out having fun, getting pissed, going to the casino. I was in the casino every night.
Well, just taking your wallet?
Yeah.
Taking them out, all the money.
One night they took my phone, and there was some shit, they just threw it in the ground. Ungrateful little fuckers.
And you get mugged, and you're like, actually, this is a waste of our time mugging.
Yeah, and then there was the last time I got mugged, the guy was like, what the fuck? You know, there's no money there. I'm like, yeah, I've been mugged 4 times already. Of course I'm only going to give you whatever I have, which is like $4.
And then Ghana
then Ghana for 2 years.
You seem to really enjoy Ghana.
Ghana was a really, really good
every time
experience.
you were coming back, we're meeting up for a beer or whatever. But
yeah, it was an eye-opener. Not that I was like, I needed my eyes open too much more, to be honest.
That's about to say, like, anyone's eyes don't need open or yours.
Yeah, but it was great, and there was quite a big party scene, actually. You'd be surprised. And for a while I was running Western Africa's #1 indie disco.
Dude, that's on the CV now.
Yeah, well, I was probably the only one, I think. So we were doing that every week, and got to meet some famous names.
Had to hang out with them as well, then.
Yeah, I met Adebayor. I clubbed him one night, and no one recognised him. And I was like, fuck, that's him. And he had this bodyguard that was about 8 foot tall.
He played football for Arsenal and Man City, didn't he?
Tottenham.
He played for Tottenham too?
I think so, yeah. So he's not going in.
He's a famous footballer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Togo, but it's like the country beside it. And I met Michael Essien one night, former Chelsea man.
He's some footballer.
He was really, really nice. Got a selfie, of course. Yeah, every time you got to get a selfie. So he was really, really nice. Some other footballers that I don't even know who they were. Just they were big in Ghana, but probably nowhere else.
And then Ghana ended. Was it straight to Germany?
Yes, Ghana ended, and I went to Munich. Spent a couple of years in Munich. It was pretty good. Then I went to the south of Italy for 5 months to a city called Brindisi on a contract with the United Nations.
Where big
it was a disaster. It was one of the worst cities I've ever been to. Never mind.
What was wrong with it?
Just everyone was horrible.
No one spoke English.
No one spoke any English. You walked into a shop.
What was your Italian like?
Oh, my Italian was terrible. All I could say is I would like a ham and cheese sandwich. That was it. So it was alright if I wanted a ham and cheese sandwich, but if I wanted anything else,
that was it. You're screwed.
If I wanted mustard or something in it.
No sign of buckfast out there either, I'd have thought.
No, there wasn't. I actually got some buckfast shipped out to Ghana.
Did you?
And I've had it shipped out.
That cost about
Well, someone shipped it out for my birthday. And I've had it shipped out to Munich as well, and it actually works out cheaper than buying it here in a shop, because you don't pay, I guess, VAT. You just pay an import tax.
All right, okay.
So I think it was like less than £7 a bottle delivered.
Fuck.
But it's dangerous because, like,
do you know how much Buckfast is in Donegal?
tenner,
€15.
€15.
$14.99.
It's not even the nice stuff. I hate the southern stuff.
Oh. People don't even think there's a difference, but there's a big
No,
difference.
though it's horrible. It's really grim.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then I lived in Wiesbaden for a while, which is near Frankfurt. And
That's why when we came to Berlin, you knew the crack, like, you knew where to take us. And
yeah, and I was back in Berlin. I was back in Berlin the same weekend this year as we were there last year.
yeah.
I went to see my
Was it
favorite.
Lalty?
It was lalty for different reasons. I went to see my favorite band, who's a band called Superchunk.
See what I mean, folks? Bands that I've never heard of.
And
What do you think of AC/DC? You don't really like them, sure?
I think they're balls.
They're the best band in the world, but anyway.
No, not a fan. But I was kind of tempted to see if my mate wanted to go to the karaoke place, but she was like, no.
That's the one thing about Berlin I always remember. There's no place to really... You can't just go to an area. It's kind of, you went to a bar and then you got on the train and went to another bar. And
Yeah, that's
like,
kind of...
You know, like town, you have like... What do you call it? Cathedral Quarter?
Yeah.
You go down, there's like 10 or 15 bars
Or
around the
even
place and walkable, like...
Dublin Road or something
Yeah,
like that.
there's like in town, it's all quite... Berlin's not like that. It's probably because of the war.
Yeah, but Munich is more like that, and like Stuttgart, where I'm living now, is also like there's a central area.
I think you kind of need that in big cities. You know, like Temple Bar in Dublin. You
Yeah.
don't have that touristy bit where you can just go and do a few different bars and like nightlife. Because Berlin, that's one thing I remember. We got the train. You know, the first night we went to that bar, we got the acoustics out.
Yes, we did.
What was it called?
I don't know. I think it was in Kreuzberg somewhere, maybe.
But I remember getting off it and getting off the train. Me, Phil, and Mickey Bo were late. We got on the wrong train initially, so then we were trying to catch these up. So we were probably about an hour after these by the time we found the place, and it was getting off. It was like a real ghetto we got off on.
Yeah.
So all these hoods knocking about, and we went into one bar and we sat there. We were the only 3 people in the bar, and this gang of guys come in. We're like, fuck, they look like they're
Let's
gonna
get
kick
out.
the shit out of us. We're only having a beer. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't like about Berlin. Just there was no, there's 10 bars here, just go there.
Yeah, I think the worst place that I've been to like that is LA.
There's no bars in LA.
There is, but it's like so spread out. If you didn't drive or don't drive or use Uber,
Yeah.
like you can't just like. I remember on my first day, I'm like, right, I'll go to the central station, and I get there. There's nothing there apart from the train station.
Really?
Yeah. I actually loved LA, but
I think if I went there, I'd like to go to San Diego and LA and San Francisco and all at that end, California. But do all like the sort of, I'd love to drive around Compton, you know, all those areas
Yeah.
to see. And
like we did tonight.
yeah, we did a bit of a melter tonight in the car, driving around a few places that we don't normally. Don't know. So you only hear on the news.
I would see if there was any trouble going on. Well, we
The
saw
helicopter was out, so we thought we'd
Yeah.
go and see what that's about. But I don't know. The helicopter seems to be out quite a bit these days. There's obviously a bit of rocking going on.
Indeed.
But it was some old weekend. Like, and you back to Germany tomorrow?
Back to Germany tomorrow. Yeah, it was actually good. I had a friend over this weekend. We used to work together in Munich.
I was like, oh, when he's from Manchester.
Oh, mates.
I support Pep Guardiola. Yeah, he's a good guy. He liked the lot. Oh, what was he down? He wasn't down about gung ho though, was he?
No, it's not his sort of thing.
Not his.
He listens to.
Oh, he still seemed to enjoy it though.
Yeah, no, he had a good night.
Yeah. But I remember he said like rock music's not really his thing.
Yeah, he had plenty of gin and tonics.
Yeah.
But
That was a good thing about the other night. There were so many people come out. And there was like, you know, people always saying, I'll be out, I'll try and make it down. A few people didn't make it that we kind of thought we were going to make it, and loads of people who didn't think we were going to make it made it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just ended up being
And
just a night of love.
there was quite a lot of people as well from the stag do, people I haven't seen since then.
Yeah.
So it was kind of good to have a bit of a catch up with them.
Yeah, sometimes you just need nights like that.
I'm glad that no one
A reason
decided.
for them to come out.
Yeah, but I'm glad that no one decided we should try and recreate the booths, get the tops off. I think that would have been a step too far.
I think that's just one night that can never be recreated.
No, it's
you
one
can
of those
never.
nights.
Just to, like, I think Ryan said this a couple of weeks ago. I'm listening again, really chewing them. the stars of Lalt aligned that night.
Yeah.
You know, no one went out in there thinking, you know, I'm going to go out tonight and take my top off and get blocked. It just all happened, and everyone was up for it. And everyone was like, you know, you're not allowed in the booth unless you've no t-shirt on. And no one questioned it. No one was like, oh yeah, I'd rather keep my top on. Everyone was
well, there was a few from our group that maybe didn't. They stayed outside.
And maybe
but we didn't let them in.
Yeah. But I think when the two random guys turned up, that's when you know this is where the party's at.
Well, they took the tops off and came in. They thought this looked like the best fun ever.
This is for the wunderbar. They were.
Was ist laut?
This is laut. Was ist laut? Das ist laut. How's your German these days? Your German must be pretty fluent, is it?
No, is it fuck? My German, like, I can survive. I can have a bit of a conversation. I was actually supposed to start a new German course last week.
Do you have to do it for work or anything like that?
My work pay for it, but I don't have to do it.
Oh, okay.
So I can get away with just speaking English at work.
Yeah.
But they'll pay for it. Because I've been working on a project in Norway for the last year, I haven't had a chance to progress in it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm the only person signed up for the course for the level that I'm at. So I have to wait for one more person.
Advanced beginners.
Beginners.
Beginners. As long as you can ask for more than just a cheese and ham toast. Toasty or sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm always about my German, like, say, I'm kind of part German, but a German in my family. And my auntie would be pretty fluent. You know, she's really fluent. I'm not in the slightest. Well, my mum's not either. But I could just about get away with asking for beers.
Yeah.
Like that. Right now I can't think about that.
It's 5 beer bitter.
2 bitter. That's it. 2 Bier bitter. 2 große Bier bitter. And that's really all you need to know. Like, and then sort of, you're on a map, you just point to where you're going, and they tell you.
Same as anything, really.
And it's like, we're so lazy about stuff like this as well. We just presume everyone else speaks English, and they're stupid for not speaking English.
Yeah, but these days, so many people do speak English.
Well, that makes it a lot easier for us then.
Yeah.
Makes us really, really lazy.
Even in Germany, like, when I'm trying to speak, if I go into a shop and I'm speaking in German, as soon as I make a tiny mistake, they'll just go boom and speak to me in English.
Yeah. So
it's you got to be really persistent.
Do you know?
Stuff.
You ever hear when people talk about this, like French being quite rude like that? They would never do.
Yeah.
That. I never really thought it'd be as bad when I was in Paris. Now again, like, my basic French is, you know, asking for a beer, you know, and
Mr. Bingham, did he teach you?
He did teach me, yeah. Bottom class French. He said to me one day, he goes, Mr. Doherty, one of the more sobering students I teach in this class. Basically saying I wasn't a complete wanker. That's why I took it up. One of the more sane-minded. He used to call me sane-minded every now and again.
God.
But
he must be dead by now.
I don't know, is he?
I don't know either.
Saying that, like, that's 20 years ago we were in school.
Yeah.
And he was 50 or 60.
Yeah, and he just constantly was smoking his pipe.
He was brilliant though, I really liked him.
Yeah.
He was funny as fuck, like, he was such a dry wit. I remember seeing there was like a fight in school one time, and he stood at the window, like, it must have been on the, you know, the big hockey pitch.
Yeah.
And there's some guys fighting, and the whole school then descends down, you to see who's fighting and what it's about. And I remember coming down the corridor, and he was just looking out the staff window, you know, the window of the corridor, outside the staff room, and he's going, a couple of scallywags getting stuck into each other. And like every other teacher about, they're trying to stop it, and he's like, let them be.
I'm sure it's for a reason.
Yeah. I remember Archie.
Yeah.
Jackson. On Duke of Ed, two fellas started fighting, and about someone stole wood. You know, there's like two groups. I think one of the guys in our group stole wood from the other people, and the two of them started punching the head of each other. And Archie was there with like an old schwal, like.
Yeah.
And he stood there because it was like, you know, pretty dark. We've got a fire going. That's the only light you've got's off the fire, and these two are just rolling around, you know. And anyway, you're like 13 or 14. It's not really a proper fight. It's kind of just pissing about. And Archie's like, oh, boys will be boys, and you can't take them anywhere, and like having a joke about it. I'm like, one of them guys could die here.
All over a bit of wood.
All over a bit of wood.
They were good days.
They were the days, dude. But anyway, back at Christmas. You'll be back for a while. Hopefully, we had a bucket of balls there.
We did hit a bucket of balls.
Did that reignite your love for golf?
It did. You know, I played a few weeks ago as well in Stuttgart, and as soon as you suggested last night, let's go hit a bucket of balls, I'm like, right, happy days.
Yeah, because I thought, like, I really want to get you, because obviously you don't get to see as much because you're away.
Yeah.
I need to get you on the laltcast, on the dotcast, because you're just, we could be here for hours and hours and hours listening to your stories.
Yeah.
We're
trying to condense it a bit.
And hearing you telling the stories is like amazing compared to, you know, you hearing someone else, the rough story of it, like, but actually getting the proper story from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
But that's why I really was keen to get you on, because I know you're going back to Germany tomorrow. But then Christmas was kind of decided we'll try and get a game of golf with everybody.
We'll try and sort something out.
I have to say to Grizz and everybody, and we'll do like one morning at Christmas, between Christmas and New Year.
Pray for some good weather.
Well, at that time of year, like, it's going to be shit. Like, let's be honest. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. But if it's not raining, the ground's going to be wet no matter what. If it's not raining, we can go out and play some more shit.
Yeah, it sounds good.
And have a bit of crack, and probably be finished by mid-afternoon, and then
onto the swall.
On for a few pints. Like, why not?
It was good. I actually thought I was hitting the ball out a few times. Wasn't terrible.
We were trying to aim for that net, and you hit it a couple of times, like
3.
So yeah, well, just not the post. I got it in once, I think.
And I hit the net too.
Yeah. So it's good. Golf it's amazing. Like, as I've told people a few weeks ago, we won the Ross Big Ryder Cup this year, which is the big golf game I play every year. And I don't play golf at all. Like, I play like 3 or 4 times a year. Like.
Biggest tournament in Ireland.
Well, I think it is now. Like, it's definitely it's something that people want to get involved in.
Doesn't get enough media coverage. That's why no one's heard of it.
I don't know why not. Like, but it was actually, I was set up because me and my dad, about each other years ago, we know who's going to win. So, like, my dad and his mate played. My dad and his mates, like all that age group, always played every day and up in Donegal. And me and my mate, like he's the son of one of the fellas. Like, I reckon they give us a few shots, we could beat them. So they give us as many shots as we wanted because they knew they'd destroy us and we'd beat them.
Good.
And it really annoyed them. Like, but hey ho.
Cool. Hey ho.
Dude,
let's go.
I think it's a fitting end to the Laltcast, this song. Is it about to kick in? Liam Gorey, I ain't got no time for no monkey business. Liam Gorey. That's
Liam Gorey.
Dr. Michael Heaven to you if you're a gung ho fan. Like, Mr. Goatboy, I'd like to thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure, and I've certainly enjoyed. I've listened to most of them so far, so.
Well, it's good when you hearing your mates, so it'll give you a bit of a taste of home as well.
It's a bit of crack.
And sometimes we talk shite about what we're up to. A lot of times we just talk shite and you know what shite we're talking about, so you can relate to it.
Absolutely.
But we didn't get a quick game of Lalt or no Lalt.
No.
Right? Craft beer, Lalt or no Lalt?
No Lalt.
No. Well done. What about veganism? Lalt or no Lalt?
I don't know.
No Lalt.
It's no Lalt, but I kind of admire people.
What's your thoughts on coffee? Yeah, coffee.
Only started drinking it in the last few years. Before, never used to drink it at all.
But like, would you go for a wee skinny latte or like a cappuccino?
It's cappuccino.
So you're saying coffee's Lalt?
Yeah.
It's one thing I just don't get. People like buying. I was out with a girl probably about a year ago. We went for just a wee date, just a wee meet for coffee. Didn't want to get blocked because go on like a first couple of dates, getting mega blocked. If you know the girl already, it's kind of good, but a kind of wee blind date, you kind of getting blocked might be bad news because she might be completely mental. But more often than not, like, I'm gonna go have too many pints or whatever. So we went for this wee coffee date, and I ordered like, I think, just a normal Americano, and she totally looked down her nose at me as if I was like some sort of dick. And she ordered some chai latte. And I was
better off without her.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I hope you told her to fuck off.
Well, that didn't progress much further than that. I think she was more impressed by money and cars as opposed to and my lack of choice of coffees.
So just no Lalt.
No, she was the most unlulled person ever. Like. But here, fair play to her.
I only drink it really when I'm working. Like at the weekends, I wouldn't drink coffee.
I don't know why. I can't. Every now and again, I have a cup of cappuccino or something twice a year.
Christmas.
I like a nice cup of tea.
I'm not a tea
What about the
man.
bars you're in yesterday? You went to Lavery's?
Went to Lavery's.
Lalt or no Lalt?
Lavery's was Lalt.
Lalt, yeah,
definitely.
I agree with that.
John Hewitt, I would say, given the music selection, I think it was a bit lalty.
Really?
You could tell that maybe they could crank it up a bit.
Oh, music was it?
Traditional Irish, but they were getting into it. Not my kind of thing, but I would say bit lalty.
I would think, could you have a full night there?
No.
See,
no,
we
had
maybe puts the early end of the Lalt then.
We had one Guinness. Where else did we go? We're in the Black Box.
Has potential for Lalt.
Yeah, Mark Reed, who runs Touch Sensitive Records, was DJing.
Is that where you met David Holmes?
No.
Where's the infamous pick? Where was that taken?
That was taken in I don't know what it's called now. Back then it was called McGuinness's. down beside the market, St George's Market. Yeah.
Was he just playing? Was he just DJing?
He was DJing, but he was shite, and I told him that he was shite, and maybe told him a few other things. And
a few things unrepeatable, maybe.
A few things unrepeatable, definitely. Yeah.
But he seemed to take quite a bit of offence at that. Didn't he?
He did take a bit of offence and goes, "Here, mate, you want some attention? I'll give you some attention." And he punched him twice, and the second dig, my mate had like a disposable camera. He's like, boom, boom. And it's one of the most perfectly timed pictures ever.
Yeah, dude, I think we need to. Maybe if anyone's looking to see this picture, it's out there somewhere.
I tried to find it on via Google and I couldn't, so I need to have a look through one of my.
Someone's definitely got it. I seen it a few months ago on some WhatsApp group. Someone maybe in the Berlin group or something, maybe.
But yeah,
it's out there somewhere.
Quite a legendary picture.
That would have been a lot night out, alright. Like
it was, and then he got kicked out from his own DJ set, and him and his mate tried to get a back. The boys just kicked him out. Did I hear that? Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Punching the punters.
And he tried to get us up a side street for a street brawl. Him and his mate. I was 17 years old again. I was maybe 18 at this point.
World-renowned famous DJ looking a fair dig.
Yeah, him and his mate.
Well, man, that's pure lot. I think that's a good way to end the lot.
I think so too. We'll try and dig up the picture and I'll send it across. We need to get it up on your Twitter.
Thank you very much for coming on, dude.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been good.
We'll maybe get maybe another wee chat day at Christmas, maybe.
Yeah.
See what the crack is.
A few holes of golf.
Right, guys. So maybe see us next week. Okay. Adios.